Welcome back to Narrations, where we retell iconic movies in vivid details so you can experience the story like you're watching it unfold. Tonight, we dive into a chilling Australian horror film that proves sometimes the scariest monsters aren't outside, they're within. This is The Babadook, released in 2014. Amelia Vanek lives in Adelaide, Australia, with her 6-year-old son, Samuel. From the very beginning, Amelia's life is marked by tragedy. On the night Samuel was born, her husband Oscar died in a car accident on the way to the hospital. Years later, Amelia is still carrying the weight of that loss, exhausted and struggling to keep her head above water. Samuel is an imaginative but troubled child. He builds homemade weapons, convinced monsters are real and that he must protect his mother. At school, his behavior makes him an outcast. Amelia tries to remain patient, but she's stretched thin. She works as a nurse in a care home, and every day feels like a battle. One evening, while Samuel picks a bedtime story, he finds a mysterious red children's book on his shelf. Neither of them knows how it got there. The book is called Mr. Babadook. Its pages are strange, almost sinister, filled with black and white pop-up illustrations. The story warns that once you see the Babadook, you can't get rid of him. The creature wears a tall hat, has long, sharp fingers, and lurks in the shadows. The book says the more you deny him, the stronger he gets. Samuel becomes convinced that the Babadook is real and haunting their home. He tells his mother he sees it at night, creeping into their room. Amelia dismisses it as just another one of his obsessions. But when Samuel begins screaming that the Babadook is coming for them, Amelia starts to feel unsettled too. Strange events follow. Doors creak open on their own. A shadowy figure seems to flicker in corners. The dog growls at empty spaces. Samuel's fear grows uncontrollable, and Amelia's exhaustion turns to anger. When she tries to tear the book apart, she discovers that destroying it doesn't work. It somehow reappears, stitched back together, with new, more terrifying pages. The revised story shows a mother being overtaken by the Babadook, harming her child and even the family dog. Amelia is horrified but too drained to process what's happening. She begins seeing the Babadook herself, in her home, at work, even in the reflection of television screens. Her behavior starts to unravel. She barely sleeps, grows paranoid, and lashes out at friends and family. At one point, she drives with Samuel only to be haunted by the Babadook's presence in the car, forcing her to swerve dangerously. The entity's grip on Amelia tightens. She hallucinates cockroaches crawling from the walls. She hears Oscar's voice calling her, tempting her to join him. But every vision turns back to the Babadook, whose presence grows darker and more oppressive. At the breaking point, Amelia becomes violent. She screams at Samuel, threatening to kill him, echoing the horrific pages of the book. Samuel, terrified yet resilient, reminds her that the Babadook is just trying to take control. He fights back, setting traps in the house to protect them both. Finally, in a desperate confrontation, Amelia faces the Babadook head-on. She screams at it, her grief and rage pouring out. She acknowledges the pain of losing her husband but refuses to let the creature take her son. Her defiance strips the Babadook of its power. In the end, Amelia doesn't destroy it, she learns to contain it. The Babadook remains in their basement, locked away but fed scraps like a dark secret that can't ever fully disappear. Samuel understands now that it can't be erased, only managed. The final image shows Amelia and Samuel in their garden, calmer and closer than before. For the first time, they seem at peace. The Babadook is still there, lurking in the shadows below, but Amelia has taken control. The Babadook is more than just a horror film, it's a haunting metaphor for grief and depression. The monster is not simply something to kill, but a manifestation of loss that must be lived with, day by day. That was the Babadook. If you like this narration, share it with someone who loves psychological horror, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narrations. More terrifying tales are coming this Halloween season,